I'm recording this at 4:15 on a Monday, and this is probably a very bad time to start recording a video, knowing that people like to rev their freaking engines outside my window. Hey guys, it's Megan, and if you're new to my channel, you should totally hit that subscribe button down below so you can become a member of our awkward little internet family. And be sure to hit that like button so I know that you guys like the content I'm putting out. So I'm going to talk about how I'm sort of staying sane in college. I'm really not staying sane, but this is me coping and not going completely crazy. Please don't take that offensively. I know some people get very offended by the word crazy. I'm saying it in a comedic manner. Please don't take offense to it. Anyways, this is how I'm keeping myself from going fully crazy. I don't know if it's very true though, because it's very likely that I have gone crazy, and this is just my life now. So I want to apologize for the lack of beauty and makeup videos this month and covers, because it's very difficult to learn a song and put out a cover, and it takes a long time to sync the mic up with the webcam that I use to record my covers. I know that the covers are like my most popular content, but they're a lot harder to put out frequently. I also have no idea what I want to do for my next cover, so if you have suggestions, leave it down below, and if it's doable, I will try to do it. I have a fire drill in like an hour and a half, well, like an hour and 15 minutes, so like I need to get this done with so I'm not like sitting here recording while we have a fire drill, because I can't necessarily do that. So one of the main things that's keeping me sane in college is using a planner, and let me go ahead and grab my planner because it's adorable and it is very, very helpful for me because I can write down my like little to-do lists. I write a million to-do lists basically every day because it helps me organize my thoughts, because I have ADD and my thoughts are all over the place and I have a very hard time organizing them most of the time. So this is my planner. It's very small, it's cute, and it's got daily and monthly things that I can write on. Like for example, in July it was like this. Very helpful. Each day I could write something. I didn't really start using it until August when I was planning like what I was going to start doing for move-in and all that, but when I got into the school year I started writing like when things were due, what time things were due, what time I had class, when I had work, all that. It's very helpful for me to have a planner. I know that in middle school we were forced to use these agendas, which it's called an agenda, but we had to get them signed every week, and it was kind of like forcing us to plan, and I hated filling out my agenda because it was just so boring, and I didn't do my work anyway, so it was the point in like reminding myself to do something that I wasn't gonna do. Yeah, in middle school and elementary school I didn't really do very much schoolwork because we weren't really penalized for it, and like I didn't understand the importance of school when I was in elementary and middle school. But yeah, planners are great, especially in college, but when you're forced to use one, I think it's kind of stupid. You shouldn't force somebody to use something. You should praise them for using it, but don't make it a requirement. Don't make it part of their grade to fill out an agenda. I just think that that's kind of dumb. I also print off these blank weekly and hourly schedule things that are 7 days a week with 24 little slots for each day. That would be for each hour, so I could like block out time and figure out how much free time I had. So I'll grab another example that I have. But this is what I'm talking about. I guess it's not necessarily 24 hours. I have it going from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. because that's basically the time that I can do things. But this is like what my weekly schedule looks like right now, and I'm fortunate enough to have all of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to edit and record videos, which is fantastic. But when I go home for the weekend, I can't necessarily edit and record videos. Well, I can record videos over the weekend when I go home, but I don't go home that often this year. But when I do go home, I can't necessarily edit because my editing software only runs on my desktop, and I'm not traveling with my desktop every time I go home. And my laptop will run the software, but very, very slowly and poorly. So I just kind of deal with what I've got and I edit when I'm at school. Which brings me into another thing I need to mention. Most of my videos for December will be pre-recorded, which isn't really that much of an issue, but it's gonna be like me in the past uploading videos when it's in the future, when things are potentially different. So it won't be me present in December because I'm gonna be home for most of the month and won't have a way to edit videos. I will record some videos while I'm at home, like Christmas, New Year's vlogs and stuff, but like I can't participate in Vlogmas because that's way too much work and it's not something that would be fun for me. It would just stress me out, so I'm not gonna make myself do something that's just gonna stress me out that won't benefit me in the end. Because realistically, all of this is me trying to benefit my life, and if I can't benefit my life and make myself happy, I'm not doing it. And if I'm being entirely honest, YouTube is keeping me sane. For the past few months, since about August 7th, when everything in my life went downhill, I lost everything I was dedicated to and had to find something else to dedicate myself to. And I feel really bad for the time before that where I had just neglected my YouTube channel. When I had planned on uploading twice a week, I had originally been uploading on Mondays and Thursdays, and that didn't work. And I very quickly fell off that horse. August of 2017, I really started uploading consistently, and I've uploaded like, I don't know, over 20 videos since August, and that's crazy to me because I have never been consistent with anything in my life, so it's pretty great to be consistent with something. I feel that I've gotten better at doing what I actually really like doing, and if I'm being very honest, I've been putting a lot more effort and time into my YouTube channel than school, but don't take that the bad way. All of my grades are A's, or an A- in I think one class, but I am a Dean's List student. I have a 3.51 GPA, and I am barely putting any work into schoolwork compared to the amount that I am putting into my YouTube channel, and I think that's amazing. While YouTube is keeping me sane, keeping myself busy in general is keeping me sane. Like, keeping me from having mental breakdowns. Because okay, let me explain. When I have a lot of time on my hands, I sleep, or I watch a bunch of YouTube, or I watch a bunch of Netflix, and I get really depressed because I don't talk to people when I have a lot of time. But when I'm busy, I talk to people and I tell people like, hey, I'm super busy and stressed out, but I'm like, I get more stressed out when I'm not busy. And it's crazy. And when I'm not busy, I don't tell people like, hey, I need to do things or I'm gonna go crazy. So it's kind of like really hard to get out of the whole rut when I do get that way because I don't like reaching out for help. I have a hard time doing that even though I know I should. And if you need help, you should totally reach out to people who have offered you help. But I understand that it's very hard to do that. So yeah, I try to keep myself as busy as possible, which is why I've been doing a really good job this year at maintaining a YouTube channel and maintaining my grades. And just, I'm doing so much better than I ever thought I would do in college. When I was in high school, I thought that college wasn't an option for me and that I would do very poorly in it because I did poorly in high school. But really, if I'm being super honest, high school is so much harder than college. At least for me. I had a hard time getting work done because I didn't prioritize things and I wasn't independent and I had tons of stuff at home that could distract me, but when you're away in a dorm paying tons of money, you feel much more dedicated to what you're learning when you know that you're gonna go in debt and not be able to pay it back if you don't do well. So I just think that if you're in high school and you're debating on whether or not you want to go to college after high school and you think that college is going to be a lot harder than high school, it may be different for you, but for me, college is so much easier. I have a very big issue with procrastination, and that is one thing that is making it very hard to stay sane is because I wait until the very last minute to start something. I would like to say I'm getting better at dealing with procrastination, but in all honesty, I'm not, and I'm actually getting worse about it. I finished a paper today that's due at midnight tonight that I finally submitted. Like, at least I got it submitted before noon today when it's due at midnight, but I waited forever to actually start working on the paper. And in college, you write a lot of papers and have a lot of deadlines. So that's another thing. I try to keep myself busy and try to avoid letting myself procrastinate. If that sentence made any sense, I have no idea. But I'm gonna leave it in because I'm not gonna try and reward it. Part of me not being sane involves, well, by sane I mean mentally okay. So like I'll admit that I'm not okay. And I suffer from depression, anxiety, attention deficit disorder, probably tons of other stuff that has just like been ignored. I suffer from depression and I'm not medicated for it anymore. So I'm trying to deal with it naturally and as best as I can. I'm doing okay coping with my depression for the most part, but some days it gets to me and I can't cope with it. And I would like to say I know how to cope with it, but the easiest way to just make it go away is to push myself to just do things that I have to do, even if I feel absolutely no energy and just feel like I can't do it. I know I can do it, so I make myself do it. Going to college in Michigan is very difficult when you have seasonal depression issues. Like I'm depressed all the time, but slightly more when the sun's gone. So the majority of the school year is winter, basically, and the sun is rarely visible. So I know that that's going to be a hard thing to deal with, but I'm just going to make sure I do my best to stay motivated and dedicated and doing things. And back to the procrastination thing, with my anxiety as well, I get very high anxiety from procrastinating, and I think about a thing I need to do and I know I need to do it, but I don't do it because when I think about doing it, it triggers a whole cycle of anxiety and I just need to like calm down and breathe and sleep until it goes away. And it's not a good thing because you can't just sleep away all your problems, especially when they have deadlines. But another thing that's helping me kind of stay sane is my friends. I have a great group of friends and I have been able to talk to them and they've helped me so much just by existing and being a part of my life. They've been very busy this semester, so I understand why we haven't been able to do our squad dinners as often as we did last year, but they're still there for me, and it's great, and I love my friends. But yeah, my friends are being so helpful just by being a part of my life, and I have a few friends that I've gotten a lot closer to, and people I've just like met, and it's just been great with the friends I have. But I wouldn't say that I'm popular because I'm very not. I have a small group of very good friends, and that is something that I'd never really had in high school, aside from a few people that I hung around with, mainly because I just had one best friend and I met all my other friends in high school through being around her, and then it kind of all fell apart senior year, which is really depressing. And I miss my friend group, especially my ex-best friend, but really at this point nothing I can do to redeem that. I have new friends now. They are in no way a replacement to her or the friend group I had, but they're still pretty great. And also group chats are pretty nice and helpful to stay sane, because you can just like relieve stress talking to your friends and be like, I have exams back to back to back, and then I have this due and I have this due. And college is kind of like this competition of who's procrastinating the most with the most work, and I know that's terrible, but it's the truth. Another thing that's helping me is music, listening to mostly Panic at the Disco and Lucas Graham, and just sometimes I just can't deal with schoolwork and I just need to sing something and get my stress off, and then I can do schoolwork. But I'm one of those people that I absolutely cannot listen to music while I'm studying because I have to sing something if I know it. If I'm listening to music while I'm studying, it's classical piano or some symphonic music, because I can't sing to that because there's no words. But when there's words, I have to sing to it because it's just my personality and I very much enjoy the act of singing. So, yeah. And another thing that helps is setting goals, setting realistic goals more specifically. It's very bad to set huge goals for short amounts of time, but when you have realistic goals, it's great because then you can just check the box and it's over with and you can just feel proud of yourself. And I set a lot of goals for myself, and I'm not going to stop doing that because it's very helpful and it's a good thing to do just as an adult in general. This little whiteboard right here on the wall is my upload planning schedule, and it helps me consistently record and edit and prepare my videos for the month. And I like doing little check marks because it makes me feel good about myself. And yeah, but but I'm only gonna blur out the videos that have not gone up yet because I don't want you guys to know prior. Yeah, that's kind of how I brainstorm videos. I write down M and F for Friday, M for Monday, and the day of the month that corresponds to that day. And I will write down a video idea, and when I record and edit and upload the video, I get to put a little check mark next to the video, and then that video is done for the month. And it's a very helpful way for me personally to schedule out my videos so there is 2 videos going up for you guys each week. The last thing I want to say is I have found that organizing things really helps me stay sane because it just makes my brain space feel cleaner, and when my living space is clean, my brain space is clean. And you can actually see in that little mirror back there, I actually made my bed. So I feel pretty good about that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe so you can join our awkward little internet family. It's growing pretty fast, and I'm excited to see how big we get, and I would like you to be an early member of the family. So let me know what kind of video you want to see me do next time. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a big thumbs up because it helps me with my motivation and it helps me stay sane with making videos because then I know people actually like my videos. If you're not following me on all my other social media platforms, you can use the handles right there and look me up and add me and follow me and all that stuff. I am pretty active on Twitter and Snapchat, not necessarily on Facebook or Tumblr or Instagram. I upload on Instagram when I'm feeling cute or when I've done makeup, but also I don't know when I'm gonna do another makeup video because my eyelids are very, very dry right now and eyeshadow does not look good on them, so I'm not gonna do an eyeshadow tutorial when my eyelids are nasty. Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I love you, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Can I also just add that if I see you spit on the sidewalk, I don't like you as a person, and it's very gross. But if you spit multiple times, like literally every 2 seconds, it's very annoying, and it's gross, and nobody wants to see you spitting every 2 seconds. It's just gross. Okay, bye.